Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor. Welcome to my YouTube station. It's the home of the 5-minute or less video. I have a whole team of former IRS agents and CPAs and attorneys that work with me, and we're probably one of the most experienced teams in the nation. We have a lot of IRS work because we have a lot of former IRS agents who work with me and work with the team. So I start off just a little about me. I've worked about 10,000 cases. I worked for IRS for a decade. I've been in private practice for 4 decades. Next August 20th, I will be doing this for 50 years. So you can believe what I say only because experience has taught me this stuff. I'm not an alarmist. I don't try to get people all railed up and says, you better hire us, you better do this, or you better do that. Every IRS problem can be resolved without people really losing sleep. I do these videos for 3 reasons, really: to educate you from an insider perspective, from a former IRS agent telling you what's important, what's not important, to educate you. A lot of my videos are educational, and third and most important, so you don't get ripped off. There are so many people on YouTube with the suits and the backgrounds and the books and the fancy this. I'm just at home telling you pretty much what you need to do. I have a good size following. We're really an honest firm, and I answer all the questions that you leave me, and I do a lot of my videos really based on the things you're telling me that you need. Anyway, today I want to talk to you about why you should file your tax returns, because if you don't file your returns, IRS is going to file your returns for you, and they're not going to do you a favor. They can file your return under 6020B of the Internal Revenue Code. And how does that all work? Well, generally a 1099 was filed or a W-2 was filed by a third party, and IRS looked at that W-2 and 1099, and they have a matching program. They want to make sure that 1099 or that W-2 match to a tax return. If you don't have a tax return, IRS will file your tax return for you, and they're not going to do you any favors. They're going to go ahead and have you file a single, no dependents, no exemptions, no write-offs, no nothing. They're going to make sure for you not filing their punishment, as you're going to pay the highest amount of tax allowed by law. But there's hope, because once IRS notifies you of that, many times you find it in a lien or a bank levy or a garnishment because you moved and you never got the notice. You have a couple options. You can file an original tax return. When you file the 1040, you're going to mark on the top, my original tax return. Or you can ask for an IRS audit reconsideration, which IRS will look at the file and they will evaluate it and set up a new assessment based on the facts and fact that you have. IRS gets sent, probably makes about, I think the last time I looked, about $15 billion in the IRS matching program, and with their computers being more sophisticated. Probably about 8 years ago, IRS was only matching up about 1/3 of all the 1040s and W-2s and 1099s. Not anymore. IRS is quite proficient in filing people who have not filed these returns. Don't let IRS file for you, because now you're going to have to undo everything you're doing. You're going to have to go ahead and you're going to have to file that return, and you're going to have to fight with IRS and say, this is only what I owe, here's my correct numbers. Or you can do the audit reconsideration. If you don't have any money and you want to do this yourself, just take the steps that I told you. Go ahead and file an original return or ask for the IRS audit reconsideration. Just type in your toolbar, or go to my last YouTube video, I said IRS audit reconsideration. You can look at that. If you don't want to mess with this, because it does get messy at times, you probably want to hire a professional firm to go ahead and do this, depending on your dollar amount. So we're available to do that, or find whoever you want to, but we're really good at it. Anyway, if you would, you'll find my information in the description section below. If you would, I try to give this information to you. YouTube loves us to have subscriptions. That's how they value the work we do. So if this information was good or helpful, if you'd give me a subscription, I'd really, really appreciate it. In the comment section, if you want me to do a YouTube or you have questions about this, just go ahead and do it. My YouTubes really come from you and the things that you really want to know. So I'm right now at 5 minutes and 15 seconds. I need to stop because I'm faithful. Me and Molly say goodbye to you. Have a real, Molly's the cow behind me. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. You always have an exit, and don't be alarmed by any IRS stuff. It always can be fixed. Thank you.